And we're live. We're back again. This is the Luke and Shay podcast. I'm Luke, and that's Shay. We're here to bring some interesting concepts, ideas, and new things. Um, Tonight's show, before we get started, I don't know why I always forget that. First, I need you to like, subscribe, and share. Subscribing is free. Please subscribe. We need your help. We need all your help. We trying to reach 100. We're almost there, and that sounds minimal. Come on, people, help us out. We definitely need your help. We need you to subscribe and give us some love. Give us some love. We need the love out here. Well,
Yes,
anyway,
please. And when you're visiting and you're watching our content, please like because it puts us in the algorithm for other viewers outside of our main group of viewers to be able to view our content as well. So please like,
exactly.
share, and subscribe. We appreciate you in advance.
We definitely need it. Well, tonight we're going to tackle a question that has yet to be tackled, and so we're gonna look at it from all aspects. And we would like for you, if you can, to chime in, add your little, add your thoughts and views on it. The question is, do you think it's possible to fall in love over and over again with your mate? Do you think it's possible to fall in love over and over with your mate?
That's interesting question right there. Yeah, I
Um,
think it's
I
possible.
feel
Anything's
you think it's
possible.
possible,
If I mean, falling in love over and over again, it's possible. I don't see why not.
but
Yeah.
but could you
As
do?
you,
Can you
I
see
figured
yourself doing it?
you said what?
Can you see yourself doing it?
Falling in love with somebody over and
Yeah.
over again?
Well, see, I don't want to get it misunderstood. It's not the feeling of like when you first get with a person. Sometimes when you with a person you actually want, there's a feeling that comes over you that you well, it's I want to say it's a I want to say it's a feeling, but it's this thing where you're just excited. You're excited about getting to know the new person. I don't think you can get that over and over again, but I'm sure you could probably each time you look at the person or think about the person, if the person's been really good, if the woman, in my case, if the woman has been really good to you, yeah, you can go back over and over because every time you see her, you're thinking, it's like that. But like I said, I don't know for most people if they can do that and have that mindset of being over and over again. Because I think that varies with different people. I think everybody has their different perspectives on that. So I think that varies with different people. So you think you could fall in love over and over again with your spouse?
Yeah, I think it's possible in a healthy relationship. Yeah, I believe so. I believe that you can fall in love over and over again over and over again, just, I don't know. It just sounds, I don't know. Because if you're already in love with that person, I
Yeah,
could see like little things. I mean, when you're growing with that person and like that person, you guys are close and the relationship is healthy. Yeah, I could see that being a thing. I can even see it being a thing where you fall in love with that person again. Like, say there's an issue in your relationship and you guys might have fell off a little bit. Not saying you separated or anything, but things might have been dry in your relationship, and there could be one thing that might set that spark. That one thing, it could be somebody that you're talking to. Somebody could be speaking to a therapist, getting counseling, marriage counseling, whatever. Sometimes a different perspective, and maybe talking to that couple could help them realize what they fell in love with each other for in the first place. So I feel like there's like a rekindling. Yes, you can fall, maybe like, wow, that's what made me fall in love with him or her. And then, yes, like go back to some of the things that you
But,
were attracted to that person, some of the things you did do in the beginning. And yes, I
but,
believe that you can have
but
that. And I believe you can even have that feeling of, wow, I can't wait till he or she gets home. I can't wait. I don't know if guys do that, but I know sometimes. And I would, look at the clock and be like, oh, he's about to come, or he's about to come home, or, so you're dialing yourself up a little bit. And it's, the little cutesy feeling, in the beginning that you get. So yeah, I believe it's possible that you could kind of fall in love again and again, but it just sounds like again and again and again for you. You're like, it's dreamy sounding, but I believe it's possible.
see that the whole idea, the concept of all of that is still to fall in love over and over again. You touched on it. Well, it's like you would have to fall out to fall back in. You can't. I mean, if you're, there has to be another word for staying in love. But like I said, I don't know if you could fall in love over and over again with the same person because I'm figuring that if I'm in love with you, at some point in time, I can't re-love you. But I mean, it's how you want to
Well,
look
yeah,
at it.
that's
But
that's what I was thinking
at one, at,
initially. That's why I looked at it as you're growing together. So when you started in your relationship, you started at a certain point in your life, and as life went on, you guys might have done some amazing things together, and you might see growth in your mate. You might have started off with your mate at a certain age, a
mm,
younger age, and now with the years that have you guys have been together, you see them doing different goals in life, and it's like, wow, I'm really in love with that man. Wow, he's just, and he there could be growth in every aspect of the
yeah, I can see
relationship.
that.
So yeah, I can see where, you guys might have started back here right out of college or right out of school, and it's you're not at a space at your place in your life where everything's just, but to see this person's growth from here to there, I can see where you can just fall back in love, like, wow, he's everything. That wait period, that patience, I talked about that last night, being patient, and you're seeing your partner just thrive. And that definitely could, I believe that could definitely make a spark happen again. You're already in love with that person. The love is just growing. Maybe that's a better word for it. The love's
Mm.
growing for that person.
Well, yeah, but like I said, I just for me as a man, and once again, that's a is a difference with the whole thing because of the we don't necessarily feel, but in that the whole we in love type mindset. Mars is more of what we do, and I can see, like I said, you want to treat the person that you're with special all the time, but I don't really see it as re-falling in love over and over again. I imagine I could look at it in a different way or look at and deal with things in a different way, which would, I guess measure up to being the same. But at the same time, it is what it is at the end of the day. That's who you chose to be with. And so you go through that process of I guess every day you fall. You might appreciate a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like you say, with growth. Yeah, I can see that too. I see where you're growing into her as a friend, and as she developing more as that soulmate. The one now she actually finishing your thoughts, so she
Yeah.
know the things that you need. Like you got like you would normally like I gotta order socks or my you don't really care. She already ordered the socks. They're already on their way. I can see where,
Yeah.
those type of things will, make you feel like, okay, well, yeah, this right here is it. But I don't like I said, I just find it hard to re-fall in love. I don't know about that. I really don't. But I imagine
Well,
you can become more engulfed in the
and
mindset.
soon we're together, you guys are
I don't
connecting
think
more and more. But see, even with that, when I hear you say that, and I heard you say men don't really feel, but I mean, there's guys that actually do, and I, like I said, they're not trying to make but because I don't really know what a man feels, but just like ways and actions, just seeing how a man acts in different, different situations in life. So one thing I can say, like with a man, like what I said, when you get in a relationship, you're here first. This is okay. We're starting here, and then you
Mhm.
have different stages in your life that you go through together. So one thing that
Exactly.
I've seen in life, not just in my relationships, but in my relationship, and when you have children that start to when you guys make children together. So I've seen it where, okay, the wife's carrying and myself, whatever, there's a difference in how a man will, look at that woman, because some men are so, and I hear you say a man doesn't have, oh, we don't have feelings, whatever. I've seen men light up and with friends and family, myself, when you place that first call and you say, "Oh my goodness, I just took a test, I'm pregnant," whatever. I've been right in front of a man and actually saw a difference. And then, something that sometimes puts the fire under that gives the push, like, oh, I have to do this now, let me do this. Oh, I'm gonna have to go get a part-time job with my full-time job. I'm trying to, but you see a difference in growth, and it's like, okay, you feel them loving on you and the rubbing of the belly and all that. There's a difference. There's different situations, yes, that can make somebody love you even more, because here's this woman carrying your child. She's, or when you're seeing her, carry your children, how many children you have. So I've seen men that really, it's like the love, it grows with them when it's like, okay, now she's carrying my child. There's a difference. Not saying that works for every guy, because we have a lot of relationships that the people aren't together, but I'm talking about in a loving relationship, a loving marriage. When she's carrying the child, there's a difference. Yes, I believe it makes you fall in love again, and not just for the man but for the woman, because it's like, okay, wow, I'm carrying this child, and it's like, wow, you guys are waiting for this, you're planning things, you're baby shop, you're doing picking out names. Yeah, something like that definitely, yeah, makes you
Okay.
fall in love again.
Okay. Well, that's your definition of it. I don't really, like I said, I hear you. I'm not arguing with you on that one, but like I said, to everybody his own. But in that case, like I said, the initial feeling, because I often tell people you break down the relationship into like three parts. I call it the infatuation, the courtship, and then you get into the relationship. So, like I said, I don't the infatuation part is when you're new and you're learning the person, you're getting to know the person, and you're excited about getting to know the person, and then you get into the I said the infatuation, then you get into the courtship. That's when you're hanging out with the person, getting to know the person in a different way, more up and personal, and then you get in a relationship. But at the same time, for men, and I can't speak for all men, but at the same time, most men have that mindset of not, it's more about duty. Marriage is about duty for a man. So that's why when I say that, that's what we base it off of. So it's like, okay, well, you're doing more duty. Yeah, you probably would do more, but I don't see where, um, like I said, you falling in love. I think it's something said and it sounds good sometimes for us as a people that I fall in love over and over and over with you again. But like I
That's
said,
yeah. That's why I
once
said
you
with
love
different
a person,
stages in your life, different
yeah, that's
stages in
what
your
I'm saying.
life,
But
like you're gonna you're growing together. You're growing old together. Some people have, some people end up being together for
are
60
you
years
you
or more, and
equating
it's like you've
you
done
were
everything
you
together.
equating the over and over to stages in life, or are you
The
equating?
over and over, yeah. So what I'm equating that to is, for a person, okay, so for someone who I have experienced longer term relationship, my relationships are relatively long term. They're over 5 years, they're 10 or more years. So when I think about that, there's different things in that relationship or whatever, that long term relationship that happens. And that's just from me speaking from that, because you might start off and okay, there's no kids involved in the relationship, no marriage yet. When you get past the dating, marriage is a big thing. It's like, okay, there's something about that, because when you are on your honeymoon and it's like, wow, you're looking at this person like, wow, this is the same little sparkly little, when we first started with the, like you said, the first start date and you get the butterflies, like, oh my goodness, did he text me? I can't speak for a man, but for me as a woman, you're waiting for that good morning text. You're waiting for those things. And once you get married to someone and you're starting this whole nother chapter together, no matter how many years you dated for a few years, now you're getting married. So it's like, okay, once you take that step, it's like, okay, you guys, you're the center of attraction at the marriage. After that, you're on a honeymoon, and it's like, wow, we have this whole life. We actually get to stay together. And like I said, marriage is like a sleepover with your best friend that never ends. That person, you have to think of it as that never ends. We get to have fun together. We get to do things. You work, you do life together, but at some point you guys come together, you plan a vacation together. These are different things. You see this person in a different light, in different situations in your life. And you might go through some hardships and you see that your mate's riding for you. Yes, you can fall in love with that person over again. And for a man, he can look at that woman like, wow, she's doing everything. Wow, she's doing everything. She carried my child, because that's actually dangerous. So I would hope that a man would appreciate when his wife is carrying his child, because there's no
Yeah.
guarantee that she's going to make it home after she delivers that child. That's a
Well, see, I got
dangerous
a
thing.
question for you
So,
now.
mhm,
My question is, a man don't get pregnant, so how do you keep falling in love with him? Because see, you're giving a reason for a man
because
from the
I'm
strength of
carrying
having a
his
baby.
child.
But
So that for me is special, that I'm carrying his child. So like I said, the whole thing that comes with that, picking out names, just sitting there sometimes and just daydreaming about different things, like, oh, what happens if it's going to be a boy, or what happens if it's going to be a girl, different things like that. It's a good feeling to have with someone. So yes, as a woman who, no, the male doesn't get pregnant, but me carrying his child makes me fall in love with him all over again. That's me carrying his child. My womb has his seed in there. I'm growing his seed. That's a special thing. And it's like that makes me connect with him even more, because we're about to bring life in the world. So yeah, it's definitely something that would make me fall in love with someone over again. Again, the different stages in our relationship.
I see it as a fairy tale, that fairy tale romance thing that they perpetuate when I hear it. Well, I mean, it's possible.
When
I'm
you
not
hear
saying
what? The falling in love over and over?
over and over again. That sound more like some
Okay.
Cinderella type
Yeah,
stuff. And
it does.
I do, I mean, because like I said, when if I, it's sort of like the thing of even, I guess I wouldn't even want to use your relationship with your family. You only can love your family one time. I don't know about over and over again, but I'm just saying, I'm trying to figure out what could a person possibly do to make me want to love her over and over
I don't
again when
know.
you're already in
You're
love
I
with her.
don't know. So you're changing to, you don't think it could happen, because in the beginning
I'm
you
not
said
saying I don't
you
think it
could
could happen.
see
I
it.
think
You
I
said you
think
could
that's
see it in
something
the
that's
beginning.
said that sound good. I don't think it sounds good. It sounds like, just the whole nine of putting it out there that it sounds good. Okay. To the person receiving it, they might, be buying into the whole thing. Okay. Well, yeah, that's wonderful to hear. Especially if it's a young lady and you tell her, you know what, every day I fall in love with you a little bit more. Okay, that sounds good. That sound like a song. I could
And
see
yeah, there's
I
a
could see
saying. You never
Babyface
heard the
writing a
saying
song to
that
go
goes,
with that.
I love you more today than I did yesterday? You never heard that expression? So there's an expression that
But
says,
that's an
I
expression.
love you
That's what
more
I'm saying.
today than I did
But
yesterday. That means, look,
how much?
we're going through some years together. I love you more today than I did yesterday. Meaning back then we just started our relationship, but now
but
we grew a family together where, we might have a business together. We're doing so
that's
much
still a
things
cliche.
together.
That's what I'm saying now. That's still not real for me as a person, because that's still a cliche. And so when we say these things, I'm saying, okay, well, it sounds good in a card. It might sound wonderful in a song, but that's like I said, it as far as it being, when you love somebody, you love somebody. I don't know about it if it goes over and over again.
But see, I'm
That's
telling you from a person who actually experienced long-term relationships 3 times. So in, my long-term relationships,
But you would have to
it
love
can
those
happen.
people that was in
It
that
can
long
happen
term
because
relationship.
you're going through different phases together. You're going through different stages. So when you go through different stages, you should be getting closer and closer. I'm learning you more and more each day, because when you first get in a relationship, let's face it, you haven't put years in. And yeah, some people might get engaged and get married within the first year or two, but you're still learning. You still don't know everything there is about that person in a year. You're still getting to know that person. You're starting to meet their family more. You're doing things. And like I said, when you bring a child into it, or children, now I'm seeing a little you or a little me run around the house, and
Mhm.
it's making things like, wow, this is a family. I might see how he protects me. I might see how he holds down the fort, and we come together as and do things as a team financially, and there's no rebuttals or anything. And I could say, man, I really love that man. He really is doing everything that I wanted a husband to do, or the way he's leading his family. Yeah, I could see people falling in love. You're already in love with that person. You're just falling. It's just you have a whole nother, and you might even say it to your friends, like, "Girl, I love that man. He, you know what? I could. He's a godsend." You're gonna voice that to people.
Oh, well, like I said, I hear what you're saying. I receive what you're saying, and maybe it's possible, but at the same time, I feel like you still can
Well,
only love a person,
but
and I think it's
there's
things
some
that's
people.
been said.
There's some
Like,
people who actually have a second wedding. They love each other so much they're getting married again. There's
but
some
see,
people that been
but
in a
what's the
marriage
proof?
and they actually
What's the? But
re
that's all.
like I don't. What was
But
that?
that's all still done out of that. Like I said, how many men have you ever seen that said, hey, man, come on in, let me show you my wedding pictures? There's still something done for you. It's done for the woman more so than anything. So
Oh,
and
renewing the
when you,
vows. Renewing the
yeah,
vows. I mean, some people actually plan to do that at a certain time. Hey, when we get to our 30th year, I don't know when people actually do it, but the
yeah,
renewing of
but
vows,
again,
that's showing, hey, I just
is
want to
is
renew
that
my vows to
something?
you.
Is that something done because it sound good and it is nice, or is it done because they actually feel it that way? That's the point I'm asking. I'm
I
not
would
saying it's not
imagine they're
impossible
feeling
to
that way
be.
if they're renewing their vows. I mean, that's I see people. Okay, so I was on a
You-
group on one of the social medias. It was a wedding, a marriage group. So in that marriage group, honestly, like, just to give an honest answer about that, I would see people in that marriage group posting different things, and they would say, and it wasn't just women, Luke, it was men that would just, in the morning, you go in there and you would see men or women, and they would just say, everybody, and they would post a picture of their mate and say, I just want to tell you about this woman, how she has had my back since I was 16. I've been in and out of whatever situation, da, 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 and she's always stuck by my
We're not
side. And
doubting that.
today I want to celebrate her. I love her more today than I did yesterday. She's just great. We grew. Men say it too. Though, and he said,
Um,
and he
there's
might
not an
say we've been together
argument.
for 30 years, or,
What I
but like I
what I
said, when you
said.
put in the time, you can say that. You can
If
say,
you go
yeah.
listen, if you right now go listen to a whole bunch of Babyface songs, they all say it. That's the point. But it sounds good. I don't know if it's
So you're
real.
saying
It
that
sounds
they're
good.
just blowing smoke and they don't mean that
No, I'm
when
not
men
saying they
say it?
blowing smoke. I'm saying what they saying is real for them. But what I'm saying to you is it actually occurring. See, I'm like if
Yeah,
I'm
I told you
if
I seen it happen. People were actually renewing their vows, and you're
no,
seeing
what
them
I'm
stay together for
that
30
don't
plus,
have
50
any
some
what I'm
years.
saying to you is the man don't necessarily feel that. He could I don't know what they feel. What I'm saying is I'm
Oh,
doing it because it sounds nice. I'm not doing it because I'm actually going through this. It sounds nice and I want to do something nice for you, but it doesn't necessarily mean I'm going,
so,
"Oh, I'm
so
falling back over
but
again,"
you're
and
saying
I don't
that
see
you
that.
don't,
That's what I'm saying.
it doesn't necessarily mean that. So, and I try to see the good, and I know that there's two sides to different situations and whatever the case might be. But to say this, because I see it now, I'm not saying I believe anything and everything people post, but I actually see people who have good marriages. I know that good marriages exist.
You can I'm
I'm
not
in
saying you
one.
can't.
People
The
have
question
good marriages. So
it's
what I'm
not
saying
that you
is,
can't love the person. I'm saying to love a person over and over again. I feel like I could be in love with you at the same time, but that sounds more like a cliche if I'm saying I'm falling in love with you over and over again because I don't see the over and over again. If I love you, I love you. But I mean, this is how can the love grow, like we stated earlier. Yeah,
and I said,
it can
yes,
grow, but at
it
the
can
same time,
grow.
but is it this thing of, oh, you know what, today I'm just wooing over you again in a different way? No, I don't see that, but I hear it. It's something that sounds nice. It sounds good in a song, but at the same time, it might even sound good in a poem. But at the same time, do you actually go through that feeling? Is there really a feeling where you're just going over and over again? That's what I'm asking. Because once you do anything once, okay, that's like saying, do you can you go over that experience of riding a bike again? Remember the first time you rode a bike and then you rode it again? Do you get that same experience when you ride the bike the second time?
I
No, it gets
probably,
a little different.
I don't know. Yeah, that's love riding a bike. Yeah, you're falling. And once you ride a bike, that the saying is you
But
don't
that's
forget
what I'm
how to
saying.
ride a
But
bike.
when you ride it successfully for the first time, can you ride it and get the same feeling of riding it the second time, the same feeling you got the first time? See,
No, I
that's what
mean
I'm
riding a
saying.
bike.
You only get that.
I equate that
You,
whole thing as anxiousness, and you're like, oh, you're trying
no,
to
I'm talking about when
steer
you
it.
first
There's
ride
a
a bike.
different.
When you first get on the bike and you pedaling, for the first couple of times you might fall, but I'm talking
You're
about that
fault. That's why I
successful
said
ride.
there's
When you
anxiousness
first
because
drove
you
a
don't want to
car,
fall.
you don't get the same feeling when you first drove a car. You don't get it the second time. You only get that first time feeling of driving the car the first time you drove the car. You don't get to do that experience, that feeling the next time. Now you acquired the feeling. You know what the feeling is. So it's not like you go, oh, you know what? I'm falling in love with driving even more every day. No, it that first feeling that you encountered is the first feeling, and it goes away after that time. Now I can tell you in a song, and then use it as a metaphor or for something else. Like, okay, well, yeah, I'm falling in love over and over again. It sounds good to you because women fall in love with their ears, men fall in love with their eyes. See, so that's what I'm saying. I would have to if something said, y'all can take it and turn it into something special. Now I'm saying it because I do love you, but it doesn't mean I'm actually falling in love over and over again. Because
See,
if I was in love
yeah,
with you, I was in love with you from that point in time.
and
So
this
that's what I'm saying. I hear
and
what
this would
y'all
be,
what you
yeah,
pushing.
this would be a good conversation to have people in the chat actually chime in, because that is a good question. Because again, just for me, I might not love the way you do. Me being a female, I might
Exactly.
love the way you do, and I hear a lot of, oh, you can't love over and over again. Maybe for somebody who haven't experienced that, but it would be great if, somebody, I wish we had people in the chat to
Yeah,
actually,
I had
men who
somebody that could
have done
explain
that,
that to
or
me from a male perspective.
men,
But go
yeah.
ahead.
Well, I appreciate your male's perspective, but I've, like I said, I've seen guys, unless they're, like you said, if they're blowing smoke, okay, and if they're having a second marriage, they're renewing their vows just to renew them because the wife is saying to do it. But I see people in a marriage group on a social media site
But
where
see,
it's not just the women that are posting happy,
You use
sprinkly,
you use
loving things about their mate. There's also men that go on and say, I appreciate this woman that I've been with for 40 years, and we're about to have our vows renewed, or
you
and
use
unless they're, I don't know, but I can't really say that people
mhm.
can't love each other
But you
over and
use
over
the
again,
term,
because I believe 100% that's something that you can, because like I said, as you grow together, you see that
but
person
that's
at different stages in their life. And yes, you're going to be, you can have moments where you just look at that person and say, wow, he has
mm,
really, or she has really come a long way from when we were younger back there. I see him or
but
her doing the
once
darn
again, you're
thing. I'm
speaking.
so in love
That's
with that person.
the reason I'm telling you that you're speaking from a woman's
And
aspect,
that's what
and
that's who
what
I'm,
I'm
a woman.
saying to you
And I'm
is
not speaking
you
for
use the
all women. I'm
you
speaking
use
for
the
myself.
incorrect term. It's not blowing smoke. I'm saying the person do love the person, but it's a cliche to say I fall in love with you over and over again. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying they're
You
not in love.
okay?
They're
When
not in love with
I'm,
the
I don't
person,
know. I'm just, let me
and
ask you
there's not
something,
blowing
because I don't
smoke.
know.
If
Everybody's
they
different.
saying it, I mean, you're
I
saying
just
it because
gave
it sounds nice.
Yeah, I don't think people are saying it because it sounds nice. I gave examples of to where, because I didn't want to make it just toward the women that, oh, we're so dreamy, and oh, I loved him more today than yesterday. I don't want to make it sound so, just aimed toward women. Men can also love a woman over and over again.
If
I
you
cannot speak
if
for
you
a
could
man,
say,
but I gave an example. I gave an example, and maybe it didn't work for you, or maybe when, I don't know about yourself, but there's something where I've seen men say when they saw their wife's stomach growing with their child in it, that, oh my goodness, she had a glow about herself. There was something, just, I fell in love with her even more because she was carrying my child. And
okay,
some
as
people experience that, in different stages in their life. Different things might happen, you know anything might happen. Parents could pass away, and then you look at your wife and be like, you know what? She's kept this tradition. My family, I love this woman. She's showing everything that I wanted. I can't speak for a man, but I do know I've heard guys say that when their wife was carrying their child, that yes, he loved her even more because he saw his
again,
child growing.
I done seen plenty of men with proposals, outlandish proposals, but they divorced today. The point I'm making, men do things sometimes for the sake of it sounding good. I'm not saying
I don't
they
know
blowing
if
smoke.
men want you to
It
be their
sounds good.
spokesperson, Luke. I don't know if men want you to be their spokesperson, because every time we talk about men, it's like you say everything is not true when it comes to men. So yeah, he probably didn't. It's like everything you say about a man doesn't. There's probably some men out here that are being sincere with these things, but you're speaking for guys and saying no, men don't necessarily do that. So it
No,
makes me
said
question.
what I
It
said
makes me
was
question when I hear you
I
say
would
that. It
love
makes me
to hear a
question.
man. I
It
would love to
sounds
hear a
like the
man
love is
come over
fake
here.
on your guys' end, then, because that's what it sounds like. Because the way, if I'm telling you that men like to see a woman, their woman,
But
some men have a saying they want to see them
men
bear
also
in,
know the fact
with
that you like to hear
pregnancy.
stuff like that. So men say stuff like that because we know you like to hear it. Women fall in love with their ears. Men fall in love with their eyes.
And he's
It's
seeing
just
her
like
stomach
my
grow.
father used to say to me all the time, a man will use love to get sex. A woman will give you sex to get loved.
And
That's just how it works.
we're talking about people that are in a loving relationship. They already love
Again,
each
we will
other.
say things again. I said I will be in love with the person, but falling in love over and over again with the person, you're gonna have to get a man on this show to tell me how that happened and what they're going through with.
How that
Because
happens
that's
is, you
different.
don't need a man to tell you that. How that happens is, you stay with the person for more than 4 or 5, 10 years. You
See,
stay long term, and then you'll experience it.
that ain't got
That's
nothing to
people
do
who've
with
been
that.
together for,
The point here is you watch the movie The Notebook. The man that fall in love over and over with the woman,
I don't remember the Notebook, but yeah,
he was in love with the woman from day one. It
but
wasn't, oh, well, you
you're
know
in
what?
love
I'm
with
in
the
love. I'm
we
in love.
already,
I'm in
yes, we
more love
already
today.
agreed.
I was in
Yeah,
love.
we already
It
agreed that
sounds
you're in
good.
love. We already agreed that you're in love with the person already. The question is, can you fall in love with them over and over again? And I already said sometimes situations might happen in your relationship where you fall off. That don't mean you don't love that person, but you just, things are just not, it's just, you guys are just existing. But something, somebody, some another perspective, or if you just reflect, hey, what did I fall in love with this? What made us come together? And then when you start to bring that back into your relationship, then it's like, wow, I'm seeing him in another light, or I'm seeing her in another light. Wow, this is the person for me. Wow, yeah, now you're looking at this person. I love you. You're falling in love again. And again, I can't speak for everybody, but I do believe that it's possible. And that's why it would be great if we had a conversation where people were actually commenting, because it would
Yeah,
be nice to
and
know other points of
you are
view.
right. It would be better, like I said, in a form. Maybe we'll do this again at a better time. But at the
Yeah.
same time, I say, because it's we say things a lot of times, and I'm gonna say both people say things they don't necessarily mean. Sometimes you say stuff because it sounds good, and that's what I was trying to adequate to this whole thing. I'm not saying that you don't love a person. I'm saying they love the person, but I don't think you get into this thing of loving a person over and over again. That sounds like a cliche line. Like there was a song called "You Are So Beautiful." Okay, yeah, you got men that often tell you you're the best they ever had. Okay, was they saying it because that's the truth, or was they saying that because that sound good? That's all I'm saying. This is how that works, and that's my point. I'm not saying that they don't feel it, they ain't in love with you. I'm saying, okay, well, that sounds good to a woman,
Hmm.
and a woman would receive that in that way, and it would be something that would be good for her. But at the same time, I don't know if a man is actually going through like, oh yeah, my stomach is turning, and I'm just, oh my gosh, in love again and again. I don't know about that. That's the point I was making. I'm not saying they don't. I'm not saying no men don't have it or no men do feel it. I don't know. I'm just saying I would love to be able to sit down and talk to a brother or anybody that can tell me what that means to love somebody over and over again. That's all. I mean, I was in love. You could be in love with a person, and I'm not saying you can't love. That's the point. You can be
Yeah.
in love with a person. I just want you to
I
explain
don't.
the love over and over again thing.
Yeah.
Because
And just hearing
in
you
order
say
to be
that,
in love again, you had to come out and then go back in and then come back out and then go back in.
no,
But
because love is not a feeling. That's more of a duty. People love by the actions. And my thing, when I say that, because it's an action, it's not a feeling. The butterflies you get is like, okay, that's your honeymoon phase. You might have the crush, like, oh my goodness, and you're daydreaming and you're laying on your bed playing the love song, and you just can't wait to hear that person. That's, yeah, we've done that in high school, and you're daydreaming and you're writing a poem about the person, and every song reminds you of them. Okay, so that's the feeling. That's that butterflies you get. Now, to actually be in love with someone, that's a whole topic of, okay, what kind of love is this person displaying? Because there's different kinds of love. You have the lustful love. You have love that, your actions. Okay, I got agape, affiliate. I can keep going. But with that, how is that person loving you? That matters, because some people throw that word around, like you said, they just throw it around because they just want to sprinkle love on things, and they don't actually feel, what makes you feel love, what makes you in love with that person. So, since it's a duty, and when you start a marriage here, and now we're here together and we've grown here, the duties, the stuff that you've done together is going to make you fall in love with that person more and more, because we've done so many things and we had different stages in our life. So yes, I do believe it's possible. Your love can grow. And the reason why I say that is because we can take it back, because we usually take it back to way before our time, where there was arranged marriages. Okay, these people didn't know each other from Adam. They had to grow and learn to love each other. Okay, didn't know this person from Adam. We get married. and now I'm learning you. Today, you don't really have too much of that arranged marriage. So, if the people in arranged marriage can learn to love their spouse and grow to love them, like I didn't even know him the day of our wedding, but I learned to love him, and then he grew on me, or she grew on
Okay,
me.
well,
Now, if those people can do that, then two people getting together and they did have conversations can grow on each other, because we
okay.
started here, but now I'm
That,
growing on you and you're growing on me. I'm loving you more and more.
okay. Well, we're gonna end it on that note. We're gonna wrap this up. Like I said, I hope we get some people to watch this and also comment on this, because I would like to hear your perspectives and your views on it. But at the same time, I feel like, again, that relationship and love is love. If I love you, I love you. I don't, each day I don't know. I would love to experience it. I ain't gonna tell you no lie, but at the same time, um,
I
I,
have.
I
So I have
just
experienced
don't
it.
see it.
So
But I hear you. But we thank you for tuning in and joining into the podcast. And we would like for you to like, share, and subscribe. Go ahead. I'm gonna give you the last word.
yeah, so the last word, a positive mentality is a destined reality. Stay positive, everyone, and wear your smile. That's important. Yes,
That's
wear your
true.
smile.
And think positive and put God first as you start your day, and everything will fall into place for you. I hope everybody's good and good in mind and spirit and ready to, and all these things right now. But at the same time, we want to again, I want to reiterate, y'all need to subscribe. This show is going to take it off, and y'all need to catch it in the early stages. We need to get some. We need to get our core base of listeners. As we say, we
Our
definitely want the
viewers,
viewers.
yeah. So that
And
way
of course,
they can join us in the chat too.
yeah, we
Like
would
to
love
hear,
for you to join
get
us
some
in the chat
feedback from
and
different people.
also reach out to us and different ways to critique us, tell us what we're doing wrong, give us ideas of things you would like to see us talk about that you're experiencing. We would love to hear all of this, so definitely
Yeah,
hit
you
us
can
back.
even put it in the comments section, and we
Definitely.
check it. We check it daily, so we'll get
Most
back to you.
definitely.
And yeah, we'll post other ways for you guys to reach out to us. But for now, just write in the comment section. Just let us know if there's anything that you guys want to, like Luke said, want us to discuss. We'll be happy to look at
Yeah,
what you're.
we love new ideas. So we're gonna end that right there. We enjoyed doing this. We hope that you enjoyed us doing it. And we hope to, like I said, we're gonna put out a lot of content with this month right here, this new month. We're gonna really try to do a lot um, more than we did even last month. So definitely trying to get to 1,000. We want to reach that 100 mark. I think we were at like 70, I believe, four at the time. But hoping we can get to that 100. But our goal is 1,000, and from
Yes, help
1,000
us
to
get there. Help us
we're gonna
get there.
just keep
Tell a
growing.
friend, share the content. Help us get there so we can grow this platform, and you guys can grow right along with us. And we're just looking for that, to just bring some goodness into your home as you're resting or whatever time of day, any time of day, because we'll be posting throughout the day as well. So,
That's right.
yeah, please like, share, and subscribe. And we appreciate it.
You have a blessed one. That we'll end it right there.
All right. Take care until
Good
next time.
night. Did they kick us out? Did they kick